Okay, first up, we have Chris Piggott, Managing Director of Leeuwin Metals Limited.
G'day. I'm here to talk about a relatively new story to the ASX, Leeuwin Metals, and we are a critical metal focused company looking for these metals in Manitoba. Disclaimer, please read it. Bit of a high level overview of what we're about. So we think we've got a pretty solid board of management team. We've got Glencore as a 10% holder. We've got projects in a good jurisdiction with good infrastructure in Manitoba. And we've got exposure to the critical metals that everyone's looking for in nickel and lithium. And at our nickel project, that's our William Lake nickel project in the southern part of the Thompson Belt, where we've drilled some high-grade nickel sulfides. We also have our Cross Lake lithium project, where we've got historical pegmatites with kind of 20-metre wide zones at plus 1% there. Bit on the board, Simon Jackson's the chairman, you might be familiar with him. Myself, I'm a geologist. Scotty Williamson's in the crowd, running Blackstone, and Nick Catras as well as the COSEC. So please come have a chat to us at the booth when you've got some free time later. Bit of an overview of our capital structure. So since we're newly listed, we're relatively tightly held. Our code's LM1, our share price is around 30 cents, gives us a market cap of around 20 mil, and our EV is kind of around 15. So I think considering what we are, we offer a lot of value at the current price point. A bit about us, we like to be hard at it and like to do work on the ground and put money into the ground and drill targets and do the work. So this gives you a bit of overview of what we've done since listing. So since listing in March, we've drilled 6,000 metres. We've got kind of two really pretty exceptional drill intercepts, 22 metres at 1%, as well as 6.5 at 2.5% nickel. We've also been able to do some reassays of historical lithium stuff, pegmatites that have never been assayed for lithium, where we've got 20-metre wide zones at plus 1.2% lithium. And going forward, we've just wrapped up our drill program, so we've still got some drill hole assays coming from that from our nickel, but we also have, that'll dictate what happens for future work over the coming 6 to 12 months. And then at our Cross Lake lithium project, we're planning to commence boots on ground there in the few weeks. Bit of a high-level overview of our projects in North America and Manitoba. Just gives you an overview of where they are, where they sit geographically. So it's the nickel conference, so most people are familiar with the Thompson nickel belt. It's kind of bang in the centre of Manitoba, in the centre of Canada. There's a lot of good infrastructure there. You can essentially drive up to our projects. There's a lot of hydropower in the province as well. It's north of 90% of power from Manitoba is from hydro and renewable. And that kind of fits the theme of both our nickel and our lithium project at Cross Lake, where at Cross Lake we have a whole greenstone belt where we're exploring for lithium as well. A bit more detail on William Lake. So it's over 500 square kilometres of tenure. It's an ex-Falcon Bridge project. There's 150 holes there, 90,000 metres. And that's what really drew us into the project when we were reviewing projects for nickel. I think when we were sitting down looking at what we wanted to do, we're relatively young. We were like, well, we want to be in critical metals. It's the mega trend. And I think everyone can talk about the exacts of that. But really, it's the growth of these commodities, of the growth story of our kind of decade. So we're better to be exploring for than the Thompson Belt. Specifically, kind of, when you look at the infrastructure, nickel sulfides and grade, when you put all those things together, it becomes extremely rare. And that's why we felt really comfortable purchasing this project. So what we purchased was a project that's got multiple nickel prospects there. We've also got, and within those prospects, you're talking about kilometres of strike of the system. And so, we've got grade, we've got a large scale system, and we're in a tier 1 jurisdiction. Bit on the project level specifically. So this is kind of the main breakdown of the tenure. So you can kind of see the specific prospect areas, but our drilling that we've done has really focused on W56. And that's kind of a 2-kilometre trend already. We know that the ultramafics open to the north and the south. There's folding to the south that hasn't been tested yet as well. But what we did, we have it all modelled up from the historic data, and we essentially were like, we're not here to drill director specials. So we essentially did about of our 6,000 metres, we probably put about 4,000 metres into W56. And a lot of the drilling was on like kind of plus 100 metre step outs. So very aggressive. And in one of those step outs, about 120 metres up dip, we drilled our 20 21.9 metres at 1%, including a 1.35 metre zone at plus 5%. So from that point of view, we're pretty happy. And then we drilled another hole 2 kilometres to the south where we intercepted 6.5 at 2.5% nickel as well. And I think when you said to kind of us at the beginning of the drill program, what did you want to achieve from this? We thought, well, we want to prove that there's grade and a bit of width in the system, and both of these holes prove that. And I think as well, our targeted approach that we took to the project was really important. You look at these old projects, there's always an opportunity in old data sets, and they kind of help you maybe target future drilling a bit more specific. And so we've done that, and we've kind of shown that not only in a data-rich environment, there's still a lot of opportunity and space for the mineralisation to expand. We also drill tested our W21 prospect, and even at W22 that we haven't drill tested yet, you've got drill intercepts like 17 metres at 1.5%. So we think it's a pretty compelling project. Just on the long section here at W56, and we got a nice photo of some core there and Glencore on site. So part of our Glencore investment is we have a technical committee with them, and we get to kind of lean on them and get some technical insights. But you can kind of see already on this section, there's a bit of drilling, but the scale often gets lost in these systems. So you've already got 2 kilometres of known kind of mineralisation. And what we interpreted as these kind of southerly plunging chutes, we've tried to drill the guts of them, and that's where we've drilled our better holes to date. So I think from we wanted to achieve a technical success from our drilling, but we also wanted a commercial success. And for us, that was kind of plus 1% nickel in drilling, and we ticked both those boxes. Bit on our Cross Lake lithium project, and this is what I got here, and this is our lithium project. It definitely helps to have a few strings in the bow, and it definitely fits the thematic of what we're trying to achieve at Leeuwin. So this is our Cross Lake project. It's only a couple of hours away. Again, we're attracted to projects that have scale, and that's where you're going to find real opportunities for discovery, right? We're doing this to make some money and wealth creation, and discovery is the best path to do that. And so at our Cross Lake project, we've got over 2,000 square kilometres of tenure, 70 k's of striker greenstone belt, and as we've discussed before, we got some pretty good results from historic drilling. So I think we're probably the cheapest lithium discovery on the ASX. We didn't even have to drill our own hole. So yeah, that's what we've assayed. We've got 20 metres at 1.2, 16 at 1.66%. It remains open, very untested. And we also have 3.5 k's away, channel samples, 7 metres at 1.45%. So overall, it's a pretty exciting project, and we still have 3 holes outstanding. Why Leeuwin? So we think we've got a pretty good board of management team that can deliver. We've got Glencore there as a 10% holder. You look at these projects, it's tier 1. You look at resource nationalism, all the other things in the world, you want to be in kind of friendly countries. We're pretty modern. We use modern exploration approach, dollars in the ground. We're very aggressive with our money spend, and we're in the right place at the right time, looking for the right commodities. Thank you.